Next on Worcester News tonight, firefighters in Southbridge battling a second apartment fire in as many days, and residents are displaced. Plus, more than 24 cadets celebrating during a commissioning ceremony at WTI. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. A man charged with setting a police cruiser on fire is sentenced to 3 years in prison Friday. According to the Worcester County District Attorney's Office, Arthur Burnham doused a Southbridge cruiser with gasoline and then set it on fire. The incident happened in 2015. Prosecutors say Burnham was seen cheering with his arms in the air when the vehicle was engulfed in flames. Burnham pled guilty to multiple charges, including throwing an incendiary device and maliciously damaging a motor vehicle. Residents forced out of their homes Friday morning when a 3-alarm fire rips through the building. The landlord now dealing with a second damaging fire this week. Our Rosalind Flaherty joins us live now with more. Rosalind?
Olivia, the landlord had another fire at one of his other properties just yesterday, but today residents say they're thankful to be okay. Cell phone video captures smoke and flames filling this apartment building on Cross Street in Southbridge. The fire forcing 20 residents out of their homes.
I opened my door and then I saw all the flames. I saw all the smoke coming out of the house.
Dawn Leatham says the fire woke her up and she got out as quickly as she could, only grabbing her wallet and cell phone.
It's not an easy thing to have your house catch on fire.
Southbridge Fire Chief Mark DiFranzo says when they arrived, there was heavy fire and smoke coming from the back of the building.
Crews started deploying lines to knock down the bulk of the fire in the back of the building. By the time we were able to do that, the fire made its way inside the building, which then made us put some crews internally through the front of the building.
The building's landlord didn't want to go on camera. He says he just renovated the apartments last fall. This is the second time in less than 24 hours one of his properties had a fire. Thursday, firefighters responded to his building on West Street. Chief DiFranzo says everyone made it out safely and there were no injuries to any firefighters or residents. Leatham says she's thankful she and her neighbors are okay.
I feel awesome that I can stand here and actually look out at it, but it's not good.
Now, the fire is under investigation, but the chief doesn't think it's suspicious. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A 24-year-old Worcester gang member is sentenced to life in prison Friday. According to the Worcester County DA's office, Jose Loro was found guilty of first-degree murder in the shooting death of David Luando. Prosecutors say Luando was shot in the head at Hope Cemetery in 2015. The 22-year-old was visiting a deceased friend at the cemetery. Loro will not be eligible for parole. Westborough police warning high schoolers tonight to be careful when playing a game involving water guns. Police posted these pictures on their Facebook page. They say this toy water gun was found this morning during a traffic stop, but only the black handle was showing. It was tucked near the driver's seat, which is a common place to store guns. The driver explained it was part of the senior assassin game students are playing. Police are asking them to be mindful of where they store the guns while playing. Assumption College names the top 2 students of their 2018 graduating class, and both of the young women are from Worcester. They were chosen from a pool of senior applicants ranking in the top percentile of the class, and they say they are honored to be chosen. Our Chandler Walsh spoke with the students today and joins us live now with more. Chandler?
Olivia, Assumption's Dean of Undergraduate Studies believes this is the first time in her 12 years at the school 2 local students were chosen as valedictorian and salutatorian. Both girls say they're excited to represent their class. 2 young women from Worcester lead Assumption's graduating class. The valedictorian and salutatorian chose to stay close to home for college.
This is the best thing I ever chose to do.
Valedictorian Reza Guerrero spent most of her elementary and high school years in Worcester, graduating from Doherty in 2014.
At first, I kind of felt like, oh, maybe I should have branched out and, gone to school somewhere else than from where I went in high school, but I think that it was the best decision I ever made.
Newer to the city, salutatorian Noor Kami and her family moved to Worcester from Syria when she was 18. She says it took time to adjust, but she now calls Worcester home.
I took my time to explore everything in it. It has beautiful places, restaurants, and everything.
There are 617 in Assumption's graduating class. The college says it's rare for its top students to both be from the city. The two say it's been a blessing having family and support nearby.
A lot of the reason why I've been able to be successful here, I think that it would have definitely been a lot harder if I didn't have them, so close to me.
It was a great thing for me to be able to live with my family and also go to school in the same city.
Kami is a biology major and is applying to medical schools in the area. She's looking to stay in the city doing cancer research. Guerrero is a criminology major. She hopes to one day work for the government, but has no plans to leave the city just yet either.
I think that it's a great city and has a lot of things to offer.
Kami was involved in campus ministry and research while at Assumption, and Guerrero interned and volunteered at the district attorney's office and New Hope. Assumption's commencement is this Sunday at the DCU Center. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A joint ceremony at WPI honors ROTC cadets from several schools across Massachusetts and Rhode Island. 25 cadets were at today's commissioning ceremony. The 2018 commissioning officer was Robert Catalanati. He's the senior advisor to the Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Affairs. Catalanati, an Assumption graduate, says he's honored to see the young men and women serving their country.
My main message is I wanted to keep it very tactical and baseline, and that was on just general leadership starting off. How to go into an organization with 50 to 70 soldiers, airmen, or sailors that are going to work for them and start off building that credibility.
And WPI undergraduate commencement exercises start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Worcester State University hosting a Voices of Hunger conference on campus Friday. Hundreds were in attendance to address food insecurity on college campuses. Organizers say it's an issue affecting college students more now than ever. Campus Compact's Matt Farley says students are working longer hours, have families, and are taking classes. He says spreading awareness of helpful programs in the community is key.
Student voice is critical to this issue. So I think the turnout represents the fact that this is not an issue that's going to go away. It's actually being kind of brought up to the surface now more than ever. So you've got faculty and staff, students from around southern New England that are all focused on this issue, realizing that they've got to address it. So this needs to change, and these folks are motivated to make that happen.
And Congressman Jim McGovern was at Friday's event and says hunger is a major issue in the country.
We have 42 million people who are hungry and food insecure, and we need to figure out a way to, to fix all of this. And I say all the time that hunger is a political condition. I mean, we have the resources, we have the money, we have everything, but we don't have the political will. And so, I really appreciate the fact that, here at Worcester State University, there's this wonderful conference going on to talk about these issues.
The Campus Compact program will be visiting colleges across New England. It's a busy weekend for businesses across central Massachusetts as they prepare for a day to celebrate moms, some even bringing in extra staff to help with customers. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us live now with more. Brittany?
Olivia, a florist I spoke to in Worcester says between Mother's Day and prom, this is the busiest week they've ever had. The owner says everyone is working overtime to meet the demand.
It's the best mom I could ask for.
There's an unbreakable bond between Evelyn Wilson and her mother, Amanda. The Worcester mother and daughter were out Friday preparing for Mother's Day by picking up some cupcakes for Grandma. They say they can always count on their moms.
She manages to always be there when I need her.
Anytime I need my mother, she's always there. She's who I go to.
The Wilsons bought a dozen of the sweet treats from the Queen's Cup on Water Street. The bakery says they have all hands on deck preparing for Sunday.
We're definitely going to be prepared with a lot of cupcakes on both Saturday and Sunday. We're going to anticipate a lot of people wanting them wrapped in ribbon, so we're going to have a lot of staff ready to help everyone get their Mother's Day gifts.
Another spot busy preparing for Mother's Day is Home Shoes' florist.
It really is turning into the busiest week we've ever had, period. Lord only knows what time we'll get out of here tonight, but there are 4 of us in design. As many people as have a valid driver's license on the road helping us.
Dave Layden was at the flower shop and says his wife and the mother of his children deserves recognition every day.
They do so much all year long. You know, she's a great wife, great mother. She works 2 jobs, so I figured the least I could do is get her a couple of flowers for Mother's Day.
Also picking up flowers, Zachary Zakara says his mother raised him on her own and she's the strongest woman he knows.
I love my mom, honestly, so I grew up with just my mom for the first 9 years of my life, so she means a lot to me.
Sunday is also the busiest day of the year for restaurants, and many, like myself, will be venturing out in Worcester for brunch with Mom.